This is Professor at MoneyPigTrading. Today is July 17, 2021, and we're going to talk about this member-only video, NVIDIA stock splitting, which is going to happen on July 21st, 2021. So what's going on with NVIDIA on the daily chart, which is on the left side, and the tech ETF QQQ is on the right, daily charts on the right side. And we can see NVIDIA has been imaging QQQ for quite a while. QQQ had a huge breakup on the daily uptrend over here. The same time, NVIDIA had the same thing. And then we thought NVIDIA is going to pull back down, but QQQ continued to run up. Plus, NVIDIA actually announced the stock splitting, and it got the shareholder approved. That's going to happen on July 21st, 2021, which is this Tuesday, 4-1. And because stock splitting will make the stock cheaper by divided by 4, and if you hold 1 share, it will become 4 shares in this case. And technically, because a lot of this big cap stock are so expensive, so by having the stock price being cheaper dollar per share, that potentially can encourage more retail investors and option trader to trade and own more of the stocks or option, and potentially can make more demand on this underlying stock and push out the stock on to the upside. So ever since NVIDIA actually announced the stock splitting at the end of May, and it actually got approved around June, and NVIDIA actually continued to push up together in the meantime to QQQ and push up all the way to 835, start to pull back down, some profit taking sideway consolidation. And do notice ARK investment, and a big fan of the NVIDIA, which is Jim Cramer. They're also taking profits around around 800. And we notice QQQ the past 3 days has a pretty significant pullback. In the meantime, QQQ has even more pullback. You can see the RSI is almost at 30, which is a relatively strength index. Around or below 30, we'll consider the stock is oversold. You can see the QQQ actually holding this yellow line, which is the 30-day EMA support. 15-day EMA support, while NVIDIA is breaking down all the way to 50-day EMA, which is around 720. If NVIDIA on Monday continue to break, the next EMA support is 690. So we'll just have to see what's going on. And the reason behind this more sell-off compared to QQQ is because we know stock splitting is happening. A lot of people are afraid that there will be too late to take profits. So every institutes and big money, they're just taking profits, being afraid they're the last one. And that's where it's seeing so significant drop right now. And we enter the put by knowing that it's going to drop, but we just don't know how soon and how quickly it will drop. So that's why we encourage myself to use vertical spread, type of put spread. And I didn't compare to just simply long puts. It didn't have as much as a downside, but it's a safer trade. So Monday, if it really dropped back down to anywhere between 720 to 690, I do prefer to take more profits, or if not all the profits, especially on the long put side. And based on this, let's take a look at other stock splitting history on the big cap and see if that can help us form a better trading decision. So the last one is TDD Trading Desk. We actually missed this trade. It actually announced the stock splitting, and the actual stock splitting happened on June 17, which is form a big green candle. And you can see TDD actually haven't run up quite a lot before the stock splitting, but after the stock splitting, it goes up like crazy, right? All the way from around $57 all the way to around $89. And you can see on that day, June 17, QQQ actually has a pretty green candle, so I highlight the wrong date on QQQ. So it does look like that day particular does help TDD because QQQ is up. And after the stock splitting, QQQ just continue to go up, and we can see TDD actually have an outperform performance compared to outperform QQQ. So basically what we're seeing here is, looks like on the stock splitting day, it's always green for that particular stock. And then after that, it really depends on the underlying sector. If that sector does well, usually we see that particular asset will continue to outperform that particular sector. Vice versa, if that sector start to tank, seems like the underlying stock splitting stock will continue to tank even more. And we noticed the day before the stock splitting, just a sideways consolidation. So let's take a look at the next one, which is Tesla. That stock splitting happened almost a year ago on August 31st. Time flies, right? So on August 31st, 2021, you can see Tesla actually had a really big green candle. And the day before splitting is more like a sideways consolidation day. And we can see on the day Tesla got split, Tesla actually, QQQ is a small green day and kind of topping. And since Tesla is such a big cap and so much intention in the market, I don't know if Tesla is affecting QQQ or QQQ affecting Tesla, or maybe both ways. So we're seeing the green candle again, just like what we saw on TDD. And after the stock splitting, Tesla push up the second day and then pull back down. We can see the same thing. QQQ, the second day is actually a green candle, didn't have any pullback, and QQQ actually top out the second day after the stock splitting, where Tesla started tank. Then QQQ started pull back really heavily, and where Tesla pulled back really heavily as well. So seems like the same pattern. The day before splitting, sideways consolidation, splitting day, big green candle, and then after splitting, just follow the underlying sector with a more exaggerated movement. Last year, we also have another big cap that has splitting, that is Apple. So on the splitting day, again, is a green candle. And one day before that, sideways consolidation. And we can see on the splitting day, the QQQ that day is also green. I don't know Apple is affecting QQQ or QQQ affecting Apple, since a lot of QQQ portion is just Apple. And you can see after the splitting day, Apple continued to run up for another 2 days, which QQQ has the same. And then QQQ had a really big pullback, the same as Apple. Last one is not a tech sector, but also a really big cap, which is Berkshire Hathaway, BRKB, Warren Buffett's investment fund. You can see on the stock splitting day again, even though it's not in the tech sector, back to I believe is January 21st, 2010. BRKB actually had a really green candle as well. And then at that same day, the financial ETF, which owns a bunch of Berkshire Hathaway, pulled back down pretty heavily on that day. And then BRKB actually had 3 red candles, the same as XLF. One day before, BRKB actually has a pretty green candle compared to all the recent big cap before splitting. So that's more like interesting observation. We don't really have a lot of data to build a really good model here to predict the NVIDIA price action, especially a lot of the cases here, like in terms of the option movement is all outliers in those cases, since it's such a special events. So the conclusion over here is one day before stock splitting, looks like it's mostly for tech, big cap, just an inside candle, except Berkshire Hathaway. And the stock splitting day seems like it's always a big up event. And after stock splitting, looks like basically just follow the general market in that sector, except BRKB. So back to that story. So we're actually expecting maybe a little pullback and push back up again on Monday for NVIDIA. Again, if it's 690, I'll definitely take out all, if not most of the profits on the put side. And then maybe start to buy some weekly call, expecting on stock splitting date on Tuesday, July 20th. NVIDIA will have a big green candle and potentially can make us even more money by playing both sides. And then we have to see followingly if QQQ and SPY continue to hold up. If that's the case, very likely NVIDIA will start to push out all the way to Friday. And we actually make another video about the stock market overview this week. The link is up here. We do believe SPY will start and QQQ will start to stabilize here since the earnings season is coming and the money should continue to park in the tech. So we shall see. And yeah, that's pretty much the highlight for what we want to talk about. And the other thing I want to mention is right now, based on the dark pool data, the NVIDIA actually still on the bullish zone. A lot of institutes still haven't sold their position. Even though I mentioned Jim Cramer and ARK Investment are selling them. And also on the call and put side, the long call or long put option doesn't really skew to the long put option very significantly. I don't have the number right now, but I recall it's like about 1.2 to 1 put to call. So on the long put side is not really as much as you would think based on this price action. So yeah, we just have to see what's going on. Again, very likely, I do think there will be more profit taking, maybe to 690, and that's the time we need to take profits. And probably on the Tuesday, we're going to see a really big green candle, which nobody's expected. And then if we can get some cheap green long call, probably can make us a pretty decent return this week. But of course, like I said, really there's no AI model, statistic model to support this trade. It's more like a few observations that we can see. So definitely still have a lot of risk, especially we just don't know how to predict this price action very well. So make sure to, if you want to join this trade, size your position, and yeah, and just make sure you can accept the risk. And of course, do your own due diligence. And if you haven't followed us on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram or MoneyPigTrading, make sure to follow that and like this YouTube video. That can help our channel quite a bit. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys